Yeah, boy, it is game
Yes,
day.
sir. Y'all know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
How's everybody doing today?
Game day, baby.
Let's go. Let's
Hey,
go.
Oh,
I
I'm
am
feeling good.
BIRDGANG
I'm feeling good. We
31.
got.
We are with my co-host here up top,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. D Gifted the Rev. How you doing today, my guy?
Man, I'm feeling good. This is a victory Sunday. This is a must-win game if we want to have any type of fight in this playoff position. So, hey, I'm excited. I hope the players is too.
Right?
Ready to
That's
get
what
rid
we
of this
all better
bad
hope.
taste.
And we got a very special guest in the house. It's
Mm-hmm.
Glenn with New York Nation. How you doing today, my guy? I mean, Jets Nation.
Doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
sheesh. Hey, look. Let me
Great.
change the aura up in here real quick, because, hey, as y'all can all see right now, we all look like we kind of nervous up here today. But, yeah, let's warm this thing up, gang. Hey, look, you know what time it is. You know who you rocking with. It's your boy, Philly Notion. Hey, with them, we them birds edition. Hey, joined by Jets Nation. Y'all already know. If y'all new to any of these channels, y'all already know what to do. Go hit that subscribe, because y'all know how we rock it. Hey, look, normally y'all know I'm up in here checking the 4K and doing all that, but I don't even know how to feel today, fellas. Hey, like I was telling my
Gonna
brothers,
get loose.
I got a strange feeling today. Y'all know what it is. It's Minshew time, and I don't know how to feel about it right now. So y'all gotta excuse me. Yes, I'm in my Santa mode, but hey, let's go and talk about it, fellas. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hot topic of the day, right off the bat. Gardner Minshew is starting and Jalen Hurts is riding pine today. How do you guys feel about it? And what kind of effect you think is going to happen with the Eagles' game plan?
Hey, I want to hear it from my man Glenn first, because, hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now, my whole thoughts on this thing, I'll go ahead and spill mine in a minute, but I want to hear it from the Jets Nation on just kind of what your thoughts on Minshew are, maybe coming into this game. Because, again, Notion right now ain't got a whole bunch of confidence in no Gardner Minshew. But at the same time, listen, he ain't the worst backup out there. But I'll go after, of course, the guest first. Let's go and get my man's thoughts.
Yeah, well, listen, anytime you go from a guy like Jalen Hurts to Gardner Minshew, it completely changes your approach as a defense. With Minshew, he doesn't have that escapability that Hurts has. It means it for the Jets, specifically for the Jets, one of my biggest concerns coming into this was the Jets at linebacker and their ability to keep up with a guy like Jalen Hurts, because they have that aggressive D line, and you know that they're going to try to get home. And what teams have been able to do this year is take advantage of that. And with a guy like Hurts, that was a big concern for me. Would he beat the Jets with his legs? With Gardner Minshew now, you got a guy who is more traditional pocket guy. He can move around a little bit, but he gave the Jets, granted, a much different Jets team. Last time he faced them, but he gave him a hard time. And the Jets defense has been really, to me, they haven't lived up to expectations, mainly in the front seven. They've probably exceeded expectations in the secondary, because it's so many young guys, first-year guys, second-year guys, very little starting experience. And, you've seen a guy like Javelin Guidry, who, was sort of a slot corner to start the year. Now he's back at now they got him playing on the boundary. Bryce Hall's doing a nice job on the outside. And they got some inexperienced safeties. And, of course, the guy we just snatched from you guys. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I think Minshew gives the Jets a little bit better chance. But, again, with this Jets team, you can't expect anything. They're just too wildly inconsistent and obviously far too often just not very good.
Hey, so I really like that analysis on Minshew, because honestly, like you just mentioned, I think one of the things with the Jets are struggling with inconsistency, we struggling with the same thing in Eagle Land. And by having Gardner Minshew, I'm nervous as the surprise element as to what we're going to get. Listen, we've been using Jalen Hurts, trying to use him, as a heavy pass option. Of course, Jalen's a natural runner, so that opened up our run game entirely. Gardner Minshew, I'm expecting for him to probably test his arm a little more this game, and that's going to come with a risk or reward. Is Minshew this, high-profile arm talent that hopefully we're all hoping for? But at the same time, I just don't like the way this stage is set for this game. again, we all know it way too well in the city of Philadelphia. We are all about some quarterback controversy. And as soon as that door gets cracked, we're going to be all over it. So I think this game here, again, I don't want this fan base to get lost at, if for whatever reason Minshew somehow does find a way to get this dub, hey, look, we already know what we're going to hear. It's going to be start Minshew. We need to move on from Jalen Hurts. So I'm just scared of that element in it. Again, I'm definitely pulling for Minshew today. But I know, again, he is a backup for a reason. Look, he came from, what was it, Jacksonville, not really having a whole bunch of talent around him. So we're going to see how this system works. But to tell y'all, to be honest, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't like seeing when players lose positions and jobs to injuries. But that's definitely what it could be, depending on the situation and how well Minshew does. Again, the only thing we're looking for in Philly right now is who's going to lead us to something. And Jalen Hurts, look, the record is what it is. We 5-7 at the bottom of the barrel right now. So Gardner Minshew has an opportunity to seize this moment. It kind of makes me eerie because now I'm looking at our GM, like, what is this mess they've created in Philly? But at the same time, I believe Gardner Minshew should be able to still get this job done. Hey, hopefully we use our run game also. So that's where I'm at on Minshew. I'm nervous, but we need to be coming out run heavy today. And I really don't like the way this stage is set, to be honest.
Honestly, Gardner Minshew, coming into the game is exactly what we said. It's gonna change the whole dynamic of what we trying to do. But for the most part, I don't even think it's going to affect the game too much. I feel like we're going to see pretty much the same type of style that we've been seeing from Jalen Hurts, especially when Nick Sirianni commits to the run game. I expect Miles Sanders to step up because he's been inconsistent and still looking to prove to us why he's that number one feature back. Boston Scott still is a guy that runs hard. And just last game in the third quarter alone, we rushed for 100 yards. So I'm confident in this offensive line. I'm confident in the running backs, and I'm expecting these guys to step up. Just like you said, Nick Sirianni needs to come out and lean on that run game a whole lot more. Not just because we've been dominant in the run game thus far, but because also this is Gardner Minshew's first start of the season. So we need to help him out as much as possible. I'm not expecting him to come out and just throw. I feel like they should, warm him up, just like they would do for Jalen Hurts and depend on that run game. And hopefully with us running the ball on them, we won't have to depend on the pass game too much, So hopefully, if we lean on that style of offense, hopefully, coming out of the game, we can seal the win without having a lot of quarterback controversy.
Yeah, man, I agree, man. It's Minshew Mania time. Everybody's been waiting for it. So this is either going to shut people up, about him being a franchise quarterback, or it's going to give them more juice to keep hyping up the train of Minshew Mania. I don't like that aspect of it. I think our, team has been without the quarterback controversy and drama behind the scenes for a while now, and I do not want this to lead into another one. So I want, Nick to go in there, run the rock. That's the strength of our team. That's our offensive line. Those guys are what controls our offense right now. Those are the guys that are ready to run block. Let's just get Miles Sanders out there, Kenny Gainwell out there, let them spin all day long. Don't put it in Minshew's hand to win. I watched some highlights of Minshew. Yes, he makes some passes, but he is definitely a guy that you don't want throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game. Even though he is a better passer than Hurts, most might say, he's still not that guy. He fumbles a lot. He throws a lot of picks. But I just want to see him go in there and be a game manager, hand the ball off when it needs to be handed off, make the pass when it needs to be made. What I'm saying? Something nice, easy. I don't think it's going to take a lot of, juice to beat these Jets today. What I'm saying? We do not need to lose 2 times in a row inside MetLife, so I want these guys to go out there, play some football, run that rock today.
And I think that's a big part of it for you guys,
Yeah,
is
ain't gonna look
having
totally
that offensive line. Yeah, having that dominant O-line that you guys have. We've seen some teams absolutely gash the Jets on the ground this year. And they've been able to do that by sort of getting those linemen to the second level, getting them on CJ Mosley. Now CJ Mosley, he has the great resume. He's got the big contract and all that, but he's a guy who dropped weight to play in this system. He's looked good at times. He's looked really good when the D line does their job and occupies the blockers. But when blockers are getting to that second level and getting their hands on him, they're making short work of him, and he's struggling a little bit. So that's why we've seen a lot of teams just have a lot of success running the ball right up the middle. And the Jets don't have a lot of experience at linebacker either. They have Quincy Williams, who's kind of stolen that starting job, and he's done a really nice job. Really big hitter. But, at that other spot, it's been kind of a revolving door at that second outside linebacker spot. So that's what I would expect Philly to do, especially given Minshew's, lack of reps and the lack of live reps in this offense. Come out, run the ball early, and until the Jets show they can stop it, then keep running it. And that's kind of why I feel like, the Eagles have a chance to control this game and, just have Minshew manage the game. You don't ask him to do too much, but you keep it on the ground. But, for the Jets, the big thing is, Foley, Fatukasi in the middle of that defense, along with Quinn and Williams. If those guys are on their game, then, that can change things. But a lot of it, I think, is going to come down to that play in the middle, at that middle linebacker spot, whether it's CJ Mosley or, if they move guys around. Sometimes, we do see them slide him outside a little bit, but at the end of the day, they have to be able to get these big offensive linemen off of them and stop the run. And if not, I think Philly's just gonna pound the rock all day and make life difficult on that Jets defense.
Okay, well, keeping on the whole quarterback range, how do you like Zach Wilson?
Well, listen, it's so early. He's played 6 or 7 games. He's in a bad spot in that he's playing for a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 10 years. And fans don't want to hear it. Like, even when, to me, if you're saying a guy's coming out of BYU, which is, smallish program, he's not coming out of Alabama. He's not coming out of LSU. So no matter what, it was going to take some time for him. And what's hurting him, though, is it's not only that it's taking time, but, as I've said a couple times, his mechanics at BYU, they weren't perfect. But from very early on this season, I think against the Broncos in week 2, I kind of said, I said his mechanics they're a disaster, and they haven't really improved throughout the season. And it's fine if you're getting the job done. Who cares what your form looks like if you're delivering the ball? But what Jets fans are seeing from Wilson a little too often is sort of missing wide open guys who were inside of 10 yards. He's overthrowing guys on screen passes. He's throwing the ball behind. We've seen a few plays where Elijah Moore is streaking across the middle wide open. He's throwing the ball behind him. And the receivers have had to adjust a lot, and it's a weird thing because people can say that, it's that jump from college to the NFL and the defenses are just better. I'm talking about plays where he's playing catch. I'm talking about he's rolling out. There's no defender between him and the receiver, and the ball is just not even close. So you go from a guy who completed 70% of his passes in college, and I don't care who you're playing against, 70% is 70%. He had pinpoint accuracy at BYU. Now with the Jets, he can't hit the gimme throws. So fans are getting fed up quick. Way too many people are giving up on him. You don't give up on a guy after 6 games. But a lot of folks are getting really impatient. And like I said, he's not helping himself by missing some of these throws that really any quarterback should be able to make. So I'm not giving up on the kid by any stretch. I love them coming out, but he's definitely, his first quarter numbers this year are atrocious. I think he has something like 11 yards passing in the first quarter. But he has had some games where he bounces back, which is why all 3 of their wins, they trailed at the half and came back and got the win. So he does sort of start slow and then settle down a little bit. But even when he's been good, he's needed his receivers to step up and make some, perfect example last week, Keelan Cole on 4th down and 8, when the Jets went for it and converted to kind of seal the win. The ball, Zach was quick, decisive, got the ball out, but it was behind Cole, and he had to kind of stop his route, turn around and catch the ball behind him and pull it in. So he's had to be bailed out a few times, but he's been hot and cold, but he's struggled a lot more than I expected. I expected some hiccups, but I didn't expect him to not be able to, to hit a 5, 6, 7 yard pass over the middle with no defender in the area.
See, one of the things actually I just heard you say also, and that's one of the things, of course, we struggle with here in Philly. I mean, it sounds like y'all just give the man it's patience, right? You got to develop, you got to have time. And listen, this man's a college quarterback trying to transition to the NFL. He's trying to learn these different, coverages. I'm sure he's seeing. But again, you do have to be patient as a fan base, especially when you got, your quarterback coming out here, as a rookie, especially somebody like Zach Wilson. Again, I wouldn't give up or panic all the way on that man as of yet. But yeah, those are things I would expect for him to clean up as he develops. We're going through similar things, again, as we see with our quarterback over here in Philadelphia with Jalen. But again, that's something we struggle with, is the patience. So I just wanted to mention that, Glenn. Hey, look, that's something our fan base, we struggle with all the time. Hey, look, I guess it sounds like y'all going through the same motions.
Yeah, listen, I used to live just outside of Philly for a couple years. I lived 20 minutes, 30 minutes up the road in Bensalem, PA. And who was it? I want to say I forget which player it was, which quarterback. Somebody, it was when you guys took Wentz, and there was like video that went viral. Like he literally landed at the airport after being drafted and didn't take a picture with somebody or something. Like, you suck, dude. And I'm like, Jesus, man, this man just got off the plane. Like, come on now, like relax a little bit. But like I said, with Zach Wilson, it's a lot of it is that, not only a 10-year playoff drought, but a 10-year playoff drought that's included, and this is saying something for Jets fans, that's included some of the worst football we've ever had to endure. I mean, Adam Gase was just an absolute train wreck. And you just knew every week that it was going to be a disaster. And, his final season, 2-14, it really was. And even this year, even though the Jets have had, they had that 3-week stretch where they were giving up, 40 points a week, 45 points a week, you kind of felt like, well, there's at least some time in the season to recover and let this rookie head coach, this whole staff is young. Rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, rookie quarterback, up and down the roster is, young, one of the youngest teams in the league. And now, you hope that over these last 6 games, you hope Mekhi Becton comes back, pairs with Elijah Vera Tucker at left guard, and be able to pound the ball and maybe win a couple games down the stretch.
Yeah, man. And that is a huge point that both quarterbacks you're starting to see is struggling with. That they have new offensive coordinators. You know what I'm saying? They're still young. There's still defenses that they had never seen. There's defenses the offensive coordinators win against. You know what I'm saying? So there's still a lot of areas where even the coaches have to continue to develop to make these players better, to get these players on the right track. And like you said, it is still early in these guys' career. Give them some time. What happened to playing out your whole rookie contract before you decide if the quarterback's the guy or not? Every year now it seems like teams just want it now. If you can't come in and do it right now, you need to get out of here. And that's ruining some of these players' careers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give these guys chances to develop. It was not fair that they have such a short lease coming into the league this year and from here on out.
Yeah, I think the old Bill Walsh school of thought, his philosophy was, I think, 20 games. He said, give me a year and a half with a guy before I know if he's going to be a player or not, especially, at the quarterback position. But nowadays, I think a lot of fans, everyone wants to be a draft expert, and they decide before a guy's even picked if they like him or not. And if they don't, they don't want to give him a chance. To where even when the guy does something well, they want to explain it away and say, it wasn't him, it was this. And they don't want to give credit where it's due, and they don't want to be patient with a guy that they weren't in favor of taking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like
one thing, and no, go ahead, D. Go ahead. Real quick, bro, because I got an eerie feeling. I'm gonna spill out after D. Because again, I hear some of this stuff, but it's like we know who our coach is. So go ahead, D. Go ahead and rip them off, bro. Let them know what's on your mind, bro.
Yeah, I just feel like I really wish Jalen Hurts was playing in this game because, like I mentioned, both of the quarterbacks, recently have been struggling. And this was a game I was really looking to see how Jalen Hurts be able to bounce back and show that, he's the future quarterback, because before that game, we was all confident. It was hard to find any Eagles content creator or anybody that supported the Eagles, for them not to be rooting for Jalen Hurts, and then for him to come out and literally have a complete opposite type of performance of what we've been used to. He's not that type of player that throws 3 interceptions in one game. We got so comfortable with him being secure with the ball. That's how we view him, is a guy that is protective of the ball. But if it's any game that would have, because if it was any game that would have been a get right game for Jalen Hurts, it would have been this game against the Jets. And so for him not to have the opportunity kind of sucks. But if it's any game for Zach Wilson to get right, it's against our defense as well. You know, our defense is a defense that at one point we were giving up 40 plus back-to-back weeks. We gave up and then 30 points the next week, you know, and I believe Zach Wilson probably will get the time in the pocket that he needs to deliver, because we haven't been able to apply that pressure up on the quarterback all season. I know y'all offensive line have been struggling, but we have yet been able to take advantage of any offensive line that has been depleted. The Giants' offensive line was a line that was dealing with injuries, and they was dealing with second string, third string backs, and we wasn't even able to sack Daniel Jones not one time. I believe we ranked 27th in sacks with 19. So with that being said, we're not getting to the quarterback, and we 27th in QBR ratings, allowing 98.2, you know, a game. So like I said, if it's any game that Zach Wilson can get right, it's against this defense, and I think that's one thing that I'm concerned about, because we have been consistent with allowing the underneath passes. So, you know, hopefully, you know, if Zach Wilson is Zach Wilson, you know, as of late, as the guy that you described, missing, you know, them short 10 yards, you know, passes, that's gonna do us justice, because those are the things that we give up. We refuse to let anything go above our heads. So with that being said, I'm concerned that because I know there is room for Zach Wilson to get right and to actually look good in this game.
Hey, real quick, fellas, I just want to say honestly again, and this is no disrespect to the Jets, because again, I think the Jets are a young building team. They're still finding their way. This is about the Eagles. Hey, pretty much, this is a must-win game for the Eagles. If the Eagles want to have any kind of chance of season hopes, anything, they have to win this game. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like the way this stage is set. I've been saying that kind of coming in here. And again, I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, and I don't know whose call this was. Again, maybe his ankle was that sore to the point, you know, he can't function on that. I get that. But at the same time, you see,
it wasn't his call.
Quarterbacks, you do see certain quarterbacks tough things out, right? Like I'm seeing Aaron Rodgers out here on a fractured toe. You know, you got certain quarterbacks playing with broken ribs, you know, broken elements, all of that. So I just hope you listen. If this was Jalen Hurts' call, he went out there and said, listen, coach, I can't go today. All right, look, we got to figure it out. But at the same time, I don't know if this is an element that, you know, possibly the management or our GM is, you know, trying to keep Jalen out to preserve him, you know, to go ahead and bring Minshew in. I don't know whose decision that's coming from. But again, I don't like it because it sets this whole stage up kind of eerie for Minshew to now. We're going to find out how that works. Now, another thing I'm scared of, again, with Jalen Hurts out, that takes away from our run element. Now, again, we're talking about we should be running the ball and doing all of that, but we know how our coach, Nick Sirianni, can sometimes be. He'll neglect the whole run in the first half, you know, let y'all hang in there, let the Jets hang in there, and then for whatever reason, we'll try to use it the second half. And y'all got to also remember, Jordan Howard is also out again. So we're going to have to put a lot on the plate. Miles Sanders is going to have to get it done. But again, this whole situation I just find eerie. I would have preferred Jalen Hurts to tough through this thing. I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, an injury's an injury. If he's got a sore ankle, I'm just hoping that he made the decision and not this GM and management staff.
Well, I wonder if they look at it, you know, every now and then you'll see a team say, look, you know, we got a guy. If this was a tougher opponent, you would go today, but you're dinged up. We feel like we can take the Jets with Minshew. Let's get you right for the stretch run. And maybe Hurts is 70%, where he would, you know, kind of like you hear sometimes where they say, you know, if it was a playoff, this guy who's sitting out of a regular season game will be playing today. So maybe there's an element of that, because Hurts a couple days ago said he was good to go. And they're sitting him. So we'll see what happens there. But I'll tell you what, I am interested in seeing. Now, and it's like I don't want to see him have a big day, but man, leading up to this draft, I was a huge Kenny Gainwell fan. Like he was the guy I wanted. I was like, I was all over him on Twitter. I will say, you know, matter of fact, the night before the Jets took Michael Carter while Gainwell was still on the board, I did go back and watch their game a little bit more, their college games, and I felt like Carter's the more traditional, reliable runner. But Gainwell is just so versatile. You watch him at Memphis, and when they split him out to play a wide receiver, he looked like a wide receiver. He had some huge games catching the ball. He could run it. Can't pound it up the middle as much as you might like, but I feel like he can do a lot. So I'm kind of hoping to see him today because I was a huge fan, but at the same time, I don't want to see him do that well. So I'm a little bit torn, but I think this could be sort of, his first game where he sees a bunch of carries because you guys are dinged up at running back.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
Yeah,
Well, I was looking for this.
I agree. I mean, Jordan Howard though is a guy that I feel like is missing in this whole equation. This is a guy who is a traditional type running back and who has been probably the most effective running back out of all the running backs that we got because Miles Sanders can't stay healthy. Boston Scott, he's just a smaller guy, and I don't know, Jordan Howard, he just always hits the hole. And if one of your biggest problems is running and the middle aspect of the field of the line, then I definitely think that Jordan Howard will be the best answer to that problem. You know what I mean? Because he's a guy that hits the hole. So, and Gainwell, I believe he hasn't been featured in the offense as much. So I think that's due to the fact that Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders and Boston Scott has been putting up numbers, So I feel like if anything, Gainwell is probably gonna be more featured in that wide receiver, in that slot position that you was referring to.
Yeah, and this might be a test for Nick Sirianni too. Evaluation for the coach. You don't got your star quarterback in you've been playing all season with. You don't have a couple of running back pieces. And then one of them not even fully healthy. How are you going to call this game? You know what I'm saying? What are you guys going to do different to bring something else out? You see what happened that Super Bowl run when Carson Wentz was going on that pro MVP type season. We totally switched up the offense. It took a game or two, but we switched up the offense when Nick Foles came in, and we ran a whole nother offense going into that playoffs to win that Super Bowl. Now, can Nick Sirianni make the adjustments on the fly needed to be a good coach in this league? These are all battle tests. He's getting battle tested. He's going to see what he can do, what he can call. And like people said before, maybe this is the game he gets to do a couple of extra more passes to see if it works out. Everything's an evaluation. It's evaluation on Jalen Hurts' production in the offense. It's evaluation on Nick Sirianni's, skill set of how he can coach a game. Everybody's getting tested this year, and I guess it's just going to be a really big test for him.
Hey, again, I think this is what makes me nervous. The season is on the line today. We're putting it in the hands of Gardner Minshew and this front office staff and hoping that our coach, decides we're going to run the ball heavy today. And we take advantage, hopefully, of the Jets, of their run defense. But at the same time, again, this whole situation is just set up extra funny. I don't like it. I see, we got some of the New York Giants people up in here talking about we still in the trash bag. Listen, we got to get out of that in New York right now. So, hey, hopefully we figure out something. But I have a feeling any type of success we have today, that's going to open the doors to this whole Minshew Mania. And we got to hear this the rest of the season. So I don't know which way to go with this one today. And again, it's like I'm pulling for Minshew. I'm hoping this man, maybe he takes the reins of this thing and goes out here and throws 4 touchdowns and lights up. Hey, I might be wrong today. But at the same time, I just got a funny feeling about today. I'm hoping we use our run game, but I have no confidence in the way our coach calls games. And hey, look, I mean the Jets. I'm not gonna sit here and say y'all have the compatibility to win anytime y'all step up and play. So y'all could get. Hey, it's any given Sunday, and I'm kind of nervous on this game today. No lie, gang.
What was your take on your Jets, Glenn, going into the season? Like, what was the score record prediction you have for them? Has that changed at all? Since you've been watching the Jets this year.
Changed a little bit. My thought process, and I've said this a couple times on our show, I obviously I will end up being way off. I mean, they win a couple more, they might get to 5, but I thought they could win. I thought they could be an 8-win team if things broke the right way. But my thought process was I was assuming Mekhi Beck didn't stay healthy for at least most of the season. And I thought Morgan Moses would win that right tackle job, and that Becton and Moses at the tackle spots with Elijah Vera Tucker at left guard. I thought they would just pound the rock all day, kind of like the 2009 formula with Mark Sanchez. Like, I thought we would see heavy run game, and then let Zach Wilson kind of pick his spots. Again, I expected him to be a more accurate passer than he has been. So I think Zach Wilson's inability to be as accurate as he was, Mekhi Becton going down. Now, don't get me wrong, George Fant has done a nice job at left tackle since moving over from right tackle, but Becton is just a mauler. I mean, Becton just tosses bodies. You see a little bit of that from Elijah Vera Tucker, but no one does it the way Becton does. So I thought with those two guys on the left side, run, grind teams down and steal a few wins against teams you shouldn't. And then maybe as Zach Wilson improves as the year goes on, win a few down the stretch to get yourself 8, maybe 9 wins. As it turns out, Becton goes down. Wilson gets hurt. And really not that would have mattered because the defense was terrible anyway. I did expect, the Jets took this kid, Hamza Nasruddin, the safety out of FSU, who they were going to convert to linebacker. I expected him, based on what I saw on film, based on all the scouting reports, based on what the team was talking him up. I really thought he'd do a nice job at linebacker. It took him a game and a half to get benched. He's strictly a special teams guy now. So the defense hasn't been as good as I'd hoped. And again, Becton going down and Wilson not being quite the guy I thought he would be early on. Now I'm looking at it like maybe they win 5 because they do have they still have some winnable games. They have the Saints.
Let's look at that record here. I think I got that right here. So you guys got left us, the Saints, Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, and Buffalo. Woo!
Yeah, so Jacksonville, obviously, Miami beat the Jets last time, but I think that's a winnable game. They're far from dominant, obviously. So you got 2 or 3 games they could win. As we say, any given Sunday, but you kind of try to be realistic in projecting this stuff. So, Wilson wasn't the guy I thought he was early, and Becton going down really hurt. So I thought maybe 8, 9 wins, but now obviously you're probably looking at 3 to 5.
Yeah, man, that's don't worry about it because we all had high expectations. We were drinking all the Kool-Aid this offseason too.
Listen, man. If you can't be optimistic before the season starts, then why are you even a fan?
Right?
I mean, if you can't have a couple months where you're like, maybe this season will be fun, what's the point of even watching? The last few years I've said the worst part of football season for Jets, or the worst part of the year for Jets fans, has been football season. It's all great when you look at the high draft picks and the cap dollars and all that stuff, but when you don't get the right players, none of that matters. But the Jets obviously hope they have the right GM now in Joe Douglas. He's brought in a lot of good talent. A lot of people don't recognize that for some reason, but Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, Elijah Vera Tucker, Bryce Hall, a lot of the John Franklin Myers, who they just gave a big contract. They have some pieces in place now, and next year obviously they're gonna have 2 picks, possibly 2 picks in the top 8.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's
2 top 10 picks in the same draft.
Russell Wilson can't hold the football right now. It looks like he's throwing for 150 a game. So if Seattle keeps losing the way right now, they have the 4th and 5th pick. They got Seattle's pick and their own pick. So the Jets could be looking at two picks in the top 8, and then they have another second rounder that they got in the Darnold deal. So the Jets have like 5 picks in the top 50, I believe.
Ooh.
Or 4 in the top 50.
Say that again about all you Eagle fans that wanted Russell Wilson. Go ahead and say that again. I like how you said that. Like, he can't hold the ball.
he can't. Well, look, he had this hammer finger thing, and they said he was going to have to put the pin in and then, he would get. I think he probably came back a little too early, and it looks like he can't hold the football right now. I mean, I looked at his numbers earlier. He's really having a hard time, and maybe an off season will fix that. To heal up, the right way. But right now, he's not getting it done at all, and that obviously that's to the Jets' advantage. And if Seattle even if they win a couple more games, I think the Jets can still stay in the top 10 with both of those picks.
Well, at least your GM, hey, Douglas, is that? Yeah, we sent him y'all's way. That's right. He helped contribute.
He was Howie's right-hand man.
Yeah,
Benny Curry, Elijah.
They got a lot of the fellow Eagle, over there in New York. So again, at least your GM and out here scouting quarterbacks. Again, our GM is at full game scouting quarterbacks at this point in time. So at least your fan base, it sounds like y'all still gonna give room for Zach Wilson to grow. I don't expect y'all to be looking at quarterback this draft, regardless if y'all got
No.
high picks or not. So
You can't. You
No,
can't go that
not
high with a
right.
quarterback.
not that early. Don't matter. It don't matter how you. Even if you should be, your GM, no GM is gonna have that much egg on his face and admit that. You got to at least give it 2 years before you start looking at other guys. So 1 year. The quarterback won't be high on the list, but you got those two, like I said, possibly top 10 picks. You're probably going corner and edge. A lot of people want Linderbaum, the center, which I would love, but at the same time, top 10 taking a center when there's bigger needs than that. We'll see how that plays out. But you guys have 2 top picks early on, right?
Well, it depends how high they are. We got the Colts pick,
Mm-hmm.
we got Miami pick, and then we got our pick. But right now, the Colts and Miami have been winning, so that pick's going farther down. We might have 3, within the 10 to 21 range picks.
Still not bad, man. That's still
It's
3
still not
ones.
bad. 3 first-round picks and 3 first-round picks for sure.
Absolutely.
That's a good question. So, what are 3 keys to victory this Sunday for the Eagles and the Jets? You can go ahead and do the Jets, then we'll go around and give our keys of victory for the Eagles.
Sure. For the Jets, again, keep those big linemen off the linebackers in the run game. Otherwise, Philly just be able to run the ball all day. Give Zach Wilson time. I know you guys mentioned that the Eagles pass rush hasn't been great right now, but the Jets O-line playing a little bit better of late. Zach Wilson in his first 3 starts was sacked 15 times. In his last 4 games, he's only been sacked 8 times. So that number has come down significantly. But you still like Fletcher Cox. Anytime you're dealing with that guy in the middle, the Jets have been a little bit shaky up the middle at times. So that's something to keep an eye on. And really the Zach Wilson and ball distribution. I think Corey Davis, who was questionable coming into this game, is now going to play. And I think that's another issue Zach Wilson has had, is that Corey Davis is a guy he's kind of fallen in love with at times, where he tries to force the ball in there even when he's not open, despite having other options. So my hope now is that with the emergence of Elijah Moore, that we'll see him, kind of not rely so heavily on Davis, spread the ball out a little bit, and give himself an opportunity to make some plays and just do the easy stuff. Give yourself a chance by hitting short throws, keep the defense honest, and protect the football. Even his 1 interception last week, it was fluky. Everybody loves that he does this off-platform, off-schedule stuff where he's flipping the ball backhanded. Everyone loves it when it works, but then last week he did it, and as he did it, the running back turned around and the ball hit him in the back, and it was intercepted. So it really wasn't a bad throw, just a fluke play. So yeah, if he protects the ball and distributes it, that the Jets are going to have to, at a minimum, those are some of the things they're going to have to do if they want to win this game.
I love
Honestly, I think we have to take advantage of our defensive line. We have to get to the quarterback. I think last game, damn, what the fuck? Yeah, Zach Wilson on the season, he averaged what? I think he got like 4 touchdowns. Is that right? 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's only got a handful of touchdowns. He's not. He had 1 on the ground last week, but he's only got a few.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. I think 4 touchdowns, 10 interceptions on the season so far, and then you say he played like 6 games. We have to take advantage of the fact that he's been slacking these past few games. So I think so far JG is the type of coordinator who's been proven consistently that when it comes to a quarterback who has been less competent with recently, he can take advantage. He apply that pressure, and these cornerbacks, they step up. We having a Pro Bowl season from Darius Slay, and then he is complimented hella good with Nelson on the opposite side, and Devontae Maddox just got his contract extension because he been balling. So if there's any game we need to take advantage of a quarterback who has been struggling as of late, it's this game. And so I feel like have to take advantage of Zach Wilson, and I feel like we have to turn this team into a traditional running team, since Jalen Hurts is the type of quarterback that get us yards on the ground all the time. I think he get at least 50 yards a game. Last game, I think he had 8 carries for 70 plus yards. The guy was basically a key factor in why we get so many yards upon the ground. Like I said, earlier, last game in third quarter alone, he rushed for 100 yards. These past few games, period. I think the past 3-4 weeks, we've been having 200 plus yards rushing. A lot of that is due to Jalen Hurts. He's not going to be in the game. We've been wanting Jalen Hurts to. I know me personally been wanting Jalen Hurts to be in a more traditional like offense for a while now. Now we actually have a quarterback who can't run, so hopefully we do get to see a more traditional like offense where the running back is actually running straight up the middle, actually just applying that pressure up on the offensive up on the defense, because too many times we make things way more complicated than what we have to be. We'll be in the red zone on first and goal and still in shotgun where we can just line it up straight up the middle and pound it in. Or we trying to do short screens that always end up clipping or what is it when they be picking off the players or whatever. We can't never get that stuff right. Something always going down or holding. So don't make it more difficult than what it has to be. We have to continue to run the ball, pound it straight up the middle in a weak spot. So that's key number one. Key number two is going to be Nick Sirianni. This is a game where, like I always say, very rarely coaches can win you the game, but they can definitely lose you the game. And so I need Nick Sirianni to put these guys in position, because we are dealing with a quarterback who's having his first start of the season. And so he has to put these guys in position. Do not make this game more difficult than what it has to be. You cannot lose to the Jets. Cannot, period. Those are my three keys.
All right. Well, my keys to victory is get pressure on Zach Wilson fast and often. Without Michael Carter playing, that's a weapon that I think would have been a lot more, something to worry about too on the Jets offense coming into this game. But since he's not going to be playing, that's one extra help for us. So our defensive line, like he said, need to get to Wilson early and often, and rattle his cage. If you shake him up early, you don't have to worry about him making these great plays. But if you let this guy get on the rhythm, start hitting his targets down the field, then now you got to worry about Wilson having a good game. And we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? He is a young guy with a lot of talent. And if you let the guy get on fire, he might light you up. So we don't need none of that going on today. So make sure you hit Wilson and hit him often early. Let's get this run game established early. I don't want to see Gardner Minshew out there trying to be playing hero ball. We don't need him to be our hero. We just need him to manage this game and, do his part. Hand the ball off to Miles Sanders and Gainwell, and I heard Boston Scott's playing. So all three of them boys, just keep that rotation flowing all game long and win this game on the ground. You're keeping the offense off the field for the Jets, and we're controlling the clock, and dominating with our big boys on front. So we're going to be winning that line of scrimmage battle as well. So those two things, and then also Nick Sirianni, don't get cute today. You barely out of the doghouse. You kind of went back in a little bit last week. Don't get cute today. Keep a good, smart game plan. Run the ball, pass when needed. But, don't try to go out there and throw the ball 50, 60 times with Gardner Minshew, man. That's going to be a losing, remedy. And we're going to take an L today if we go out there and do that. So those are the three things. Get to Wilson, run the rock, and Nick, don't get too cute.
Hey, look, I got to agree with everything all y'all fellas said. I think it starts with pressure. So, again, this is a rookie quarterback. We need to go out here and treat him like such, show him some different looks. I don't want to see this off coverage, on Corey Davis and Elijah Moore. I don't want to see no off coverage on none of their receivers. I want to see us jamming these receivers at the line, getting pressure on Zach Wilson. And listen, my secondary, of course, look, I'm going to actually put that as my third, because my secondary is let's go ahead and limit turnovers this game. Last game was straight up sloppy. Well, I think we had 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, a fumble. Listen, anytime we lose the turnover margin, the chances of us winning that game, it's out of there. So, again, I want to see a lot of protection on the ball this game. Hopefully, Minshew, I don't know what kind of game plan Sirianni's going to call today. If he does have Minshew, airing it out, I would hope not. Hopefully, we're running the ball, and if that's the case, secure the ball up. If we're out there throwing the ball, make sure we're not throwing interceptions. So protect the ball. I think that's a huge must this game. And then, of course, number 3, I'm just going to say run the ball just like everybody else is saying. That needs to be a heavy emphasis this game. Listen, we already got some question marks with our O-line and just We saw a lot of Jalen Hurts scrambling out the pocket, running, because the pocket collapsed on him. Listen, Gardner Minshew, he's going to have to find his way that he navigates this pocket today. So pocket awareness is a must, but running this ball, that needs to be a priority, and it's going to start with our O-line today. So that's my 3 keys. That's how I think we can get it done. And if, again, we lose any of those things, if we ain't running the ball, if we creating turnovers, and if we ain't getting no kind of pressure, not even sacking Zach Wilson, we probably going to take that L today, gang. So hopefully we can get those things done.
Facts, man. It's gonna be crazy to see what happens today. I'm really excited to see how this game's gonna turn off. You got that anticipation going on in your chest, like, what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be a L today? It's gonna be a win today. It's gonna be crazy to see how we manage this whole game. How Minshew plays. There's a lot of big storylines heading into this game. But I want everybody to give me some hot topics. Hot takes. Give me 3 hot takes. Stat wise for players or positions for the game today.
All right.
I'll go Sanders have at least.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Elijah Moore, another 100-yard day. If you get him the ball, that dude is electric. He's gonna be the best receiver the Jets have drafted in the last couple decades. I mean, that dude, he's a legitimate player.
He's a beast.
Yeah, that guy, he's going to be something else. I think that Ty Johnson's a guy who gets overlooked a little bit. He's a guy that Jets took off waivers a couple of years ago when Joe Douglas got here from the Detroit Lions, and he's been a pretty good player. And I think the Jets today are gonna try to make an effort to establish the run early on. And I think that if they're able to do that, they'll just keep feeding him. And Austin Walter's a guy who played his first game for the Jets last week. And that he looked really quick out of the backfield. So I think we'll see the Jets, sort of top 100, 120 yards today on the ground. And defensively, look for Quinnen Williams to stay hot. He's one of the better DTs in the league. If you look at Quinnen Williams' production and with his playing time, he's one of the most productive defensive tackles in the NFL. He's got 6-7 sacks, but he only plays 60% of the snaps because Robert Saleh just believes in limiting guys, keeping legs fresh. He doesn't want his defensive guys playing more than 40 snaps a game. So you look at guys like Aaron Donald, who plays 90% every week, and then Quinnen Williams plays 60%, and he's still getting 6-7 sacks. He'll top 10 this year. So I look for a big day out of Quinnen Williams.
Nice.
For offense, I'm gonna say Miles Sanders have a great. I'm gonna say Miles Sanders proved to us why he is that number 1 feature back. This guy is a guy that a lot of Eagles fans be confident in and speak highly of him. He did run behind Saquon Barkley. He does show flashes. I'm trying to see how many yards we had last game. Last game he had 9 carries for 64 yards, and he got hurt that game. He came out. He always put up yards, but he never can either stay in the game or be consistent with it. So I'm looking for him to show us, because week in and week out, we constantly want Miles Sanders to show us why he's the number 1 back. We've been asking Nick Sirianni to feed him. And unfortunately, when Nick Sirianni decided to start feeding him, he gets hurt. And so from that point, we've been rushing for 200 yards a game. I want to see what that looks like when Miles Sanders gets those touches and he actually stays game. How effective can we be? We got plenty of ways we can use them. Halfback tosses, screens, but attack that middle of the field. He can do the very same things that Jordan Howard do. You don't have to have this guy running on the outside all the time or running out of the shotgun. Line up on the center and run Miles Sanders. Boston Scott is a great feature back. I'm hoping. I don't know if Jordan Howard is playing this game. I really hope that he is. But I'm gonna predict that. Man, that sucks. But Miles Sanders, he definitely gonna have a rush for 100 yards. That's for the offensive side of the ball, because I feel like they not gonna be asking too much of Gardner Minshew. Not too much, because I just feel like they already know what that could do to the organization and just all the goofy stuff that likes to circulate around when quarterback does good and you start having quarterback controversy. And then it's just like what Notion said, it's kind of like an eerie feeling, especially when my homeboy he texts me an article, about Jalen. He's like, "Hey, see this article?" And so I go visit the article, and it's talking about how Howie Roseman is. I mean, not Howie Roseman, but Jeffrey Lurie isn't as confident in Jalen Hurts anymore, and all this. And then last minute, I'm seeing Gardner Minshew starting, and I'm just like, damn, I could have sworn I seen Jalen Hurts just say to the media himself out of his own mouth, "Oh, he good." You know what I mean? So for that to come out of nowhere, right after hearing, how less confident, the owners is and Jalen Hurts, I'm kind of hoping to just see a pounded running game, lean up on our offensive line that we've been doing consistently. And for the defensive side of the ball, my topic would have to be Darius Slay come away with 2 picks. He's been having a Pro Bowl-like season so far. I don't expect our pressure to get there, so I'm expecting the trend to continue. Big play Slay coming up with big plays, and he gonna have 2 interceptions this game. That's my hot take on that. Take advantage of a rookie quarterback. Jonathan Gannon loves to take advantage of rookie quarterbacks. He loves to apply that pressure, take advantage of quarterbacks that's not looking too good, and our record against those type of quarterbacks has undefeated. It feel like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I'm thinking big play Slay have at least come out the game with 2 picks.
Nice, man. Hey, man, last week we had 4 turnovers, and I want the defense to return the favor this week in MetLife. 4 turnovers from our defense today. That's what I'm going to say is one of my hot takes. These guys get after Wilson, make him do rookie mistakes, and we get the ball, back at least 4 times today. On offense, like you said, I want to see the run game continue this streak of 200 and something yards a game. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should end because Jalen Hurts is in there. I just think, like you said, Miles Sanders should definitely get some more carries. And even the rook Kenny Gainwell getting out there and showing that he can run that rock as well. So I'm saying the offense will go even higher this week with 280 yards rushing today. Total domination running the ball today. I'm going to go with those 2 hot tapes. And then my third hot tape is going to be, I'm going to go to special teams, and I'm going to say that Jake Elliott makes 2 or more 50-yard field goals today.
Sheesh.
Okay.
It's
a real possibility.
Okay. I can dig it. All right, listen, I'm going to throw a couple hot takes out there. All right, pretty much. All right, look, I think my man Fletcher Cox is going to find a stat sheet today. I think there's going to be a sack today. He might get 2 off of Zach Wilson today. That's what I'm hoping for. That's a hot take on the defensive
I like
side.
that one.
I also think that Avonte Maddox, because last game he got his hands on the ball, I think he's coming up with some kind of a pick today. So I think we're going to be creating pressure. Again, going to put me down for Fletcher Cox to at least have 1 sack. I think Avonte Maddox may have some kind of a pick this game. And then on the offensive side, look, I know we ain't seen it all season, but we kind of to the point where I think we just all over the place. I think we might see some kind of trickery somewhere today. I don't know where it's going to be, from Gardner Minshew. I'm seeing teams do flea flickers and, coming out with fake punts. And look, I got a funny feeling about today, and I got a feeling we might do something extra today. So I'm going to put that out there also. So those is my three hot takes for today.
Yeah, man. But then we had a question for you, too, before we get out of here and do our score predictions. Where did it go? It was here. For Glenn, he said, how did you become a Jets fan? Who are your top 3 Jets? And how many jerseys do you own?
Just family. Like I said, being from New York, I had a couple uncles who were huge sports fans, and I started watching Jets games with them when I was little, back in the Kenny O'Brien days. Wesley Walker, Mark Gastineau, all those guys. So that's just being from New York and having family that like the team. As far as top 3 guys, like if we're talking all time,
Yeah.
probably it's funny because so many fans hate him because he brought in the Tom Brady era, but I'm a big Mo Lewis fan. I've always been somebody, you know, for whatever reason, I always like defense a little bit more than offense. I like the, you know, I like the big hitters. So Mo Lewis, obviously, one of my favorites. Curtis Martin, of course, you know, for all the work he did. You know, Hall of Fame career at running back, and a third guy, probably Wayne Corbett, you know, because everyone loves the underdog. Everyone loves it. Like I still remember, I think when he came into camp as a rookie, he was like 17th on the depth chart. And that was a roster that had no veteran receivers. It's not like he was behind a bunch of really good players. I still remember their top two receivers coming into camp that year were two guys you've never heard of called Stevie Anderson and Ryan Yarborough. They never worked out. Like he was 17th on a list of 17 guys who were not good. And he still, you know, he had a nice career for himself. So those would probably be the top three off the top of my head. And was there a third one?
Yeah. How many Jets jerseys do you have? And
I
which
have,
one's your favorite?
well, I have three or four. And my favorite, is, and actually I should have included this guy, was Dennis Byrd. You know, I remember watching the Dennis Byrd game when he was paralyzed. And just, you know, such a high character guy. Read his book following the injury. And you know, of course, killed a couple years ago, but you know, drunk driver and accident. So I a lot of times I wear polos with the Jets logo on it, but when I do throw on a jersey, it's normally the Dennis Byrd or the Curtis Martin.
Nice, man. Nice, man. Hey, man. Well, let's go ahead and get to it, guys. We are 24 minutes away from kickoff. Let's get some score predictions and final thoughts about the game today.
Well, I'm gonna, as much as I hate to say it, I'm gonna say 31-17 Philly. I think the Eagles run it early and often, and the Jets defense again. They've had a hard time against teams who run it well. Philly's running it well right now. That O line up front is really tough. Even like I said, I love the Jets D line, but I think if that O line gets to the second level, they're going to manhandle the running backs a little bit. You know, the only caveat is that if Gardner Minshew's a little bit rusty and that D line gets enough pressure, then maybe it's a closer game than I expect.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 34-14. Just on the strength, I feel like we're gonna start off hot and be pounding the ball. You know, I feel like hopefully I see the game going in the type of way where we might start off hot, we get off into an early lead. I'm just hoping that we can hold on to that lead, because when we get leads, it seems like we start being super conservative. We start being, you know, just playing relaxed. And you can't give a team any type of life. You give them some life, you give them some breathing room, they are able to come back. And so I'm hoping that Nick Sirianni shows that he knows how to handle a lead once he gets it, and hopefully he maintains it. So 34-14 Eagles.
Ooh, he said he'll take that Jets plus 5.5. All right. Well, you know, my final thoughts is we got to win regardless. I don't really even care the score. I don't care if we win by 1 point, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of losing this season. I made a prediction. I said the floor was 10-7, my guys. You know, and I know Jalen Hurts is in quarterback, but I said because if Jalen will not lose more than 7 games, I think Minshew's going to step up for him and help him out and make sure that streak continues. And like I said, I see us winning out. I think we can do it. And let's get that wild card spot, if not the division championship, if the Cowboys can fold this final 5 games of the season. So, you know, I'm going Eagles win today, 31-10. 31-10. We're going to go 31-10 in a nice blowout fashion. Like I said, we're going to run that rock all day. Miles Sanders will have a season best day today. You know, and we will see the Eagles produce a lot of touchdowns off the ground of attack.
Man, y'all feeling some kind of vibes. I don't know where that's coming from. Listen, hey, y'all are definitely.
That's why I started out, and I don't care if we win by 1 point.
Exactly. I'm on that page also. By any means necessary. I don't care how we get the dub today. We need to get the job done. But 30 points plus, I ain't got that kind of confidence right now, gang. We got Gardner Minshew going out there. I'm going with a low scoring. Look, I think the Eagles will win this thing like maybe 24-14. Let's go and put it out there. I don't think we're hitting no 30-0 this game. And if we do, I might be shocked. Because then again, I got a feeling the controversy is going to go ahead and hit. Because that means maybe Gardner Minshew then threw like 2 or 3 tubs. Oh, yeah. The conversation is going to start. So I think this is going to be a run-heavy game. I like it kind of low. I'm going to say 24 Eagles, 14 Jets. That's how we rocking today.
I don't even think we won a game without scoring 30 points this whole year.
Bro, we scored
If we don't get the 30, we lose, my guy.
Game. We scored 7 sorry points last game. Oh, yeah, nah. And we got Gardner Minshew coming in today. Oh, I expect improvement, but they ain't getting no 30 prediction from me. Not today. Oh, no. They got me sucker last week, though. I'll tell you that.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks again, Glenn, for coming on the show. Let everybody know all your social media platforms they can find you at, you guys. And make sure all you guys, we still got 20 up in here on whatever channel you are. Hit that like and subscribe to everybody on the panel. DEEGIFTED, BIRDGANG 31, Philly Notion, and Glenn with Jets Nation. You know, all links are inside every chat, so make sure you show some support for the game today.
Yeah, jetnation.com, and check me out at AceFan23 and Jet Nation Radio, Jet Nation Radio AM. And check out our forums on jetnation.com. We're pretty welcoming to opposing fans. And there's a lot of, I mean, we get about 1 million hits a month on there. Our forums are probably the most active forums on, at least Jets wise, on the internet. You're not going to find a more active message board. Fans get pretty active on there.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Well, hey, guys, the game's coming up. We about to get ready for this game. And I hope everybody has a safe and blessed day today. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yes,
Until next time, we them birds and we out. Peace.
Let's get it, gang. Let's go.
Sir.
Take care, guys.